Hey, everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a book that has shaped the way we think about economics, politics, and freedom, Capitalism and Freedom by Milton Friedman. This book is a cornerstone of modern libertarian thought and a powerful defense of free markets, individual liberty, and limited government. Milton Friedman, a Nobel Prize-winning economist and one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century, argues that economic freedom is a necessary condition for political freedom. Whether you're a student of economics, a political enthusiast, or just someone who values personal liberty, this book is a must-read. So, grab a notebook, sit back, and let's explore the key ideas, lessons, and takeaways from this groundbreaking book. Overview of the book. Capitalism and Freedom was first published in 1962, during a time when the world was deeply divided between capitalism and socialism. Friedman wrote the book to defend the principles of free market capitalism and to argue that economic freedom is essential for political freedom. The book is divided into 12 chapters, each exploring a different aspect of Friedman's argument. Friedman's central thesis is that economic freedom is a necessary condition for political freedom and that government intervention in the economy often leads to unintended consequences that harm individual liberty. Through a mix of economic theory, historical analysis, and practical examples, Friedman provides a compelling case for the importance of free markets and limited government. Key themes and lessons. Let's break down the core lessons and themes from Capitalism and Freedom. These are the ideas that have made this book a cornerstone of classical liberal thought. 1. The relationship between economic and political freedom. Friedman's central argument is that economic freedom is a necessary condition for political freedom. He explains that when individuals are free to make economic decisions, they are also more likely to be free to make political decisions. Example: Friedman points to historical examples, such as the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany, where the absence of economic freedom led to the suppression of political freedom. In contrast, countries with free markets, such as the United States and Switzerland, have been able to maintain political freedom. The takeaway: economic freedom and political freedom are deeply interconnected. A society that values economic freedom is more likely to be politically free. 2. The role of government in a free society. Friedman argues that the primary role of government in a free society is to protect individual rights, enforce contracts, and provide a legal framework for economic activity. He believes that government intervention in the economy should be limited to these essential functions. Example: Friedman explains that when the government goes beyond its essential role and begins to regulate or control economic activity, it often leads to inefficiencies, distortions, and the erosion of individual freedom. The lesson: the government's role should be limited to protecting individual rights and providing a legal framework for economic activity. Excessive government intervention in the economy is harmful to freedom. 3. The importance of free markets. Friedman emphasizes the importance of free markets in promoting economic efficiency, innovation, and prosperity. He argues that free markets allow individuals to pursue their own interests, which leads to the most efficient allocation of resources. Example: Friedman uses the example of the price system to illustrate how free markets work. Prices act as signals that convey information about supply and demand, allowing individuals and businesses to make informed decisions. This leads to the most efficient allocation of resources and the greatest economic prosperity. The takeaway: free markets are essential for economic efficiency and prosperity. A society that values free markets is more likely to be prosperous and innovative. 4. The dangers of government intervention. Friedman warns against the dangers of government intervention in the economy. He argues that government intervention often leads to unintended consequences that harm individual freedom and economic efficiency. Example: Friedman discusses the minimum wage as an example of government intervention that has unintended consequences. While the minimum wage is intended to help low-income workers, it often leads to higher unemployment, as employers are less willing to hire workers at the higher wage. The lesson: government intervention in the economy often leads to unintended consequences that harm individual freedom and economic efficiency. Policymakers should be cautious about intervening in the market. 5. The role of monetary policy. Friedman is a strong advocate for sound monetary policy. He argues that inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon, and that the government should focus on maintaining a stable money supply to prevent inflation. Example: Friedman explains that when the government prints too much money, it leads to inflation, which erodes the value of savings and harms the economy. He advocates for a monetary policy that focuses on maintaining a stable money supply to prevent inflation. The takeaway: sound monetary policy is essential for economic stability. The government should focus on maintaining a stable money supply to prevent inflation and promote economic growth. 6. The case for school choice. Friedman is a strong advocate for school choice, the idea that parents should be able to choose the best school for their children, rather than being assigned to a school based on their location. He argues that school choice promotes competition and improves the quality of education. Example: Friedman proposes a system of school vouchers, where parents are given vouchers that they can use to pay for tuition at any school, public or private. This would create competition among schools, leading to higher quality education. The lesson: school choice promotes competition and improves the quality of education. A system of school vouchers would allow parents to choose the best school for their children and create competition among schools. 7. The negative income tax. Friedman proposes the negative income tax as a way to provide a safety net for the poor without creating a large bureaucracy or disincentivizing work. Under this system, individuals who earn below a certain income would receive a payment from the government, rather than paying taxes. Example: Friedman explains that the negative income tax would simplify the welfare system and provide a safety net for the poor without creating a large bureaucracy. It would also provide an incentive for individuals to work, as they would keep a portion of their earnings. The takeaway: the negative income tax is a more efficient and effective way to provide a safety net for the poor. It simplifies the welfare system and provides an incentive for individuals to work. 8. The importance of free trade. Friedman is a strong advocate for free trade. He argues that free trade promotes economic efficiency, innovation, and prosperity by allowing countries to specialize in what they do best and by providing consumers with more choices at lower prices. Example: Friedman explains that tariffs and trade barriers harm the economy by raising prices for consumers and reducing competition. Free trade, on the other hand, promotes economic efficiency and prosperity by allowing countries to specialize and trade. The lesson: free trade is essential for economic efficiency and prosperity. Policymakers should avoid tariffs and trade barriers and promote free trade. 9. The role of competition. Friedman emphasizes the importance of competition in promoting economic efficiency and innovation. He argues that competition encourages businesses to improve their products and services, reduce costs, and respond to consumer demands. Example: Friedman explains that in a competitive market, businesses are constantly striving to improve their products and services to attract customers. This leads to innovation, efficiency, and economic growth. The takeaway: competition is essential for economic efficiency and innovation. A society that values competition is more likely to be prosperous and innovative. 10. The importance of individual responsibility. Friedman argues that individual responsibility is essential for a free society. He believes that individuals should be responsible for their own decisions and actions, and that the government should not interfere with individual choices. Example: Friedman explains that when individuals are responsible for their own decisions, they are more likely to make choices that benefit themselves and society. In contrast, when the government interferes with individual choices, it often leads to inefficiencies and unintended consequences. The lesson: individual responsibility is essential for a free society. The government should not interfere with individual choices, but should instead allow individuals to make their own decisions and take responsibility for their actions. Actionable takeaways. Now that we've covered the key lessons, let's talk about how you can apply these principles in your own life. Here are some actionable steps inspired by Capitalism and Freedom. 1. Value economic freedom. Recognize the importance of economic freedom and support policies that promote free markets and limited government. 2. Advocate for limited government. Support policies that limit the role of government to protecting individual rights and providing a legal framework for economic activity. 3. Promote free markets. Advocate for policies that promote free markets and competition, and oppose policies that distort markets or create inefficiencies. 4. Be skeptical of government intervention. Understand the dangers of government intervention in the economy and be cautious about supporting policies that interfere with the market. 5. Support sound monetary policy. Advocate for monetary policies that focus on maintaining a stable money supply to prevent inflation and promote economic growth. 6. Promote school choice. Support policies that promote school choice and competition in education, such as school vouchers. 7. Advocate for the negative income tax. Support the negative income tax as a more efficient and effective way to provide a safety net for the poor. 8. Promote free trade. Advocate for free trade policies that promote economic efficiency and prosperity and oppose tariffs and trade barriers. 9. Value competition. Support policies that promote competition and innovation in the economy and oppose policies that create monopolies or reduce competition. 10. Embrace individual responsibility. Take responsibility for your own decisions and actions, and support policies that allow individuals to make their own choices and take responsibility for their actions. Criticisms and controversies. While Capitalism and Freedom has been widely praised for its insights and arguments, it's not without its critics. Some argue that Friedman's emphasis on free markets and limited government overlooks the importance of addressing social and economic inequalities. Others believe that Friedman's proposals, such as the negative income tax and school vouchers, are impractical or would have unintended consequences. However, the book's strength lies in its ability to provide a clear and compelling argument for the importance of free markets and limited government. Even if you don't agree with all of Friedman's conclusions, the book offers valuable insights into the relationship between economic systems and individual freedom. Conclusion: Capitalism and Freedom is a must-read for anyone who values individual freedom and wants to understand the importance of free markets and limited government. Milton Friedman's powerful arguments and timeless insights make this book as relevant today as it was when it was first published. Whether you're a student of economics, a political enthusiast, or just someone who cares about freedom, this book offers valuable lessons and insights that are essential for understanding the world we live in. If you found this summary helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more book summaries and personal finance tips. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway from Capitalism and Freedom is, or if there's another book you'd like me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.